Devil Jackson.
Devil, I know him. This was back in the 70s. All I know about Devil, he was a pimp. And, at that time, everybody knew, you understand, that Eddie was getting money, which he already had money. He got his money, you understand, from John Claxton. That's where when Eddie, you understand, stopped dealing with John, he was rich then. A lot of people didn't know that. And then, so he was going different states, just going wherever he had to go to try to get some more stuff. And Devil was one of them guys that had certain plugs up in New York because the prostitutes that he had, because he was pimping up there. And like I say, Devil, had a bad name in certain people from what I heard, about, keep your eyes on him and whatever. But anyway, he ended up, Eddie stopped fucking with him because he couldn't produce what he said he was going to come up with. And Eddie stopped fucking with him. And then, like I say later, he ended up, getting killed in front of his house over there on Boston. That's all I can say about Devil. And I want to say this, like them after hour joints. Back then, Stokes was the best after hour joint in town that you can go to, because if you come there, he gonna make sure you don't have no problems in there. And if you came in his joint with a pistol, he gonna beat your ass. You understand? That's the way Stokes was. Like they had the Ponderosa, they had the Super Pig used to be on Puritan. And then you understand, Don Johnson.
Mr. Kelly, all right.
Yeah, Mr. Kelly, yes, it was on Shane. The 19 hole, you understand? It was about some of the number one after hour joint. And Superfly Ryan was the one started bringing the go-go dancers to the after hour joint. He used to have, when he started coming up to Stokes, you understand, that's where they started, you understand, having the girls, you understand, stripping in the after hour joint. And Superfly Rhyme was a hell of a guy too. You understand? He was, if you can remember back in the day, he got busted. And when the agents came to his house, he had real live tigers and shit in his backyard. He loved those exotic animals and shit like that. And like I say, Superfly Rhyme started off with Al Finch. And Al Finch used to be hooked up with Eddie and us. But like I said, it was so many guys that was getting money back in that day. Milwaukee Jack, me and him was real close. Him and his man Treacherous, Like I said, Big Butch and his brother Watusi. It's so many guys that was getting money back in that day, And sad to say, you understand, there ain't too many of us left. It ain't too many of us left, you understand, to be here to talk about it. But Detroit, it was a hell of a city. As far as getting money, and then coming with this family, another family I want to talk about, the Bobo family. They was from Memphis. It was a whole lot of them. All of them was pimps. James, Bill, Herbert, Prince. I think that might be his nephew.
That's the old man, main man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And had a sister named Philistine. And I was close to all of them. And then when they first came to Detroit, they brought their hoes with them from Memphis. And I mean, they had some fine motherfuckers down there. And then they had a lot of problems when they got down there. Coming there trying to, understand, take nigga hoes and shit like that. But by me, had being close to their family, I stopped a lot of problems with them. You understand? I'm talking about, they would have been got fucked up because they was down in my neighborhood. And I stopped a lot of guys, you understand, from giving them problems. Sam Cannon, he was another guy getting money. You understand? And pimping, And then back in that day when we used to go to 20 Grand, the clubs that we used to go to, the Burning Spear, used to be on Puritan. Marvin Figgins and Bill Brown, they the one had that.
What you know about George Blair?
George Blair, he was a hell of a pimp. He was getting money, you understand? He loved them white hoes. Yeah, he was getting money over there. His area was over there around Cash all over in there. You understand? Yeah, like I said, he much older than me, you understand? But he was pimping as long as I've been knowing him. Because the neighborhood where Eddie and us all go, that's all was down there was pimps and hoes. Wow. And thieves, boosters, that was all. So like I say, as far as down there, you understand, that valley was a hell of a place, you know. And then I want to talk about C.Dale Kincaid. He was real close to me. And Eddie. Eddie loved C.Dale, but he was just so fucking wild. You know, that's Benji and Tim brother, you know. And like I say, it was a lot of guys. See, when anybody saying something about Eddie, talking about doing something shady to him, they wouldn't even say nothing to him or nothing. They'll go take care of themselves. Like I know, C.Dale, you understand, he was the main one. And little Jerry Bunny, you understand, all us growed up together. And there was some hell of a guys that was down there in that valley. For real. They talk about the Brewster Projects. Them guys at the projects didn't come out of the valley. And that's no lie. That's no lie. For real. Them valley boys was a motherfucker, boy. For real.
What's up, family? It's your man, Courtney Robert Brown Jr. Here in Dakar, Senegal. Yes, Big Boss is still in West Africa. We're gonna be here for a few more days. And we're having an awesome time here, family. So, you know, we hooking up with the brothers here at the Made in Africa Project. Just had a real positive meeting with the brother who owns a nightclub over here called Dream. He's doing some thing in the film industry, got some studios. So,
right there.
2021, look forward to be some of Big Boss's first projects coming out of the motherland. So we are very excited about that. So anyway, you know, guys, with all that's been going on this year in 2020, we didn't really get a chance to do the 10-year anniversary that we wanted to do for this project, which is what started the whole thing, the whole reason why there's even a YouTube channel and why there was the award-winning documentary Motown Mafia, and all that came with that, and before all of this, the Kingpin's Kid Radio, and now Eddie Jr.'s channel. But this whole thing began 10 years ago. So this is the 10th anniversary of when this project began. It began with this book, Motown Mafia, Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid. And so I know a lot, I know a lot of you guys, family, you actually know of me or Eddie Jr. or my old man or Fat Man's Legend. And you know it through YouTube. Some of you may have seen the documentary, which, by the way, is available at BigBossFilmworks.com or on Amazon Prime, Tubi TV, or most of your streaming platforms. You can still get the award-winning documentary, Motown Mafia. And it all began with this book. Shout out to Lou Stevens, my partner. You never see much of him because he's usually behind the camera. But he has been the backbone of Big Boss Filmworks since we started this thing. So shout out to you, Brother Lou. But so as I was saying, though, if you don't know how, the fact that why me and Eddie have been friends for, you know, all of our lives, Eddie Jr., how his dad and my dad have been friends for all of their lives. The real story on how Eddie Jackson Sr., the Fat Man himself, how he started and built that $1 million empire. You know, we've attempted to unpack it, but if you really want the story, the in-detailed story, you know, give the book a shout. It's also available on Kindle. It's also a history lesson, you know, like in chapter 1, let's just say in the beginning, you know, you get the whole background in chapter 1 of where Detroit was at in the 50s and 60s, the real story with Black Bottom. A feel of what Detroit was like in 1971, where the Detroit Tigers were doing, what the Pistons were doing, what was going on with the race relations in the city. And then the fact that that was the year that would change the course of the Fat Man's organization and everything. That was the year where he met the Gambino crime family. That was also the year where they had the raid on Hubble, which is still, I believe, standing the largest raid in narcotics history in the city of Detroit. So a lot of history, you know, in this book. And I just wanted to give a shout out. Who else? Michelle Moore, the Essence award-winning author, Hood Books, Say You Promise Enterprise, Say You Promise Publishing. Shout out to Michelle. She brought this home. You go, family, I'm not an author, so I put together the manuscript. Michelle Moore brought this project home. Anita Flanagan, the editor, Lou's auntie, you know, again, So shout out 10-year anniversary to the book and all the people who played a part in this thing, and it's just really cool, man. And now, you know, if you told us 10 years ago I might have said, yeah, I'll be in West Africa, but if you said 10 years ago, Courtney, you're gonna have a book road, and then the follow-up book, which we'll talk about a little bit later, you know, not the follow-up to this. There's the follow-up, Motown Mafia, Big Man on Campus. But then, you know, we did come out with another book called Get Your Mind Right, Get Your Money Right, Getting Off Zero. And just where the idea started, man. People have been telling me my whole life that I had lived an interesting life and stuff I had seen. You know, working for my father, just growing up next to Eddie Jackson, seeing their whole rise, fall, and rise again, and now to be over here in Africa expanding, you know, this Filmworks thing and this content creation to the motherland, looking up at some brothers. It's just a blessing, man. So we look forward. Want to say thank you again, though. If you don't know, not got the full in-depth story. 10-year anniversary, Motown Mafia. Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid. Check it out. You can get it from our website, BigBossFilmworks.com. You can definitely get it from Amazon. And if you have not seen the award-winning documentary that followed up on that, you can definitely check that out on Amazon Prime. So, and Tubi TV, again, all the other ones. And the brothers here are taking good care of us in Senegal. So, good look, good shout out. Oh yeah, and with the 10-year anniversary, shout out to my man Al Prophet, what he's doing with American Dope out there. You know, Al has been very integral and just been a great assistance. He caught up with Al right when the book was coming out, and you know, he's gone on to do some really big things. And yeah, shout out to Al Prophet, shout out to Cavario, shout out to what they're doing over at American Dope. It's all good. So I ain't gonna hold you guys up, but again, Big Boss Filmworks live, Dakar, Senegal, West Africa, 10-year anniversary book, Kingpin's Kid, Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid, Motown Mafia. Thank you all. Appreciate the support. Love you guys. I'll let you, man. Peace.